I'm Lita. You are most welcome here. Today, I'm going to show you how I make this. I don't know if I can get this whole thing on camera since this is a huge sketchbook, but I made this horse in Graphite Aquarelle, and then I added a few pops of color in the form of goldfish. And in the end, I just love how this surreal piece turned out. So let's make something pretty. All right, I got my pencils nice and sharp, and we're gonna go in and just get in that first layer. Now, I've made several videos now about graphite aquarelle pencils. They are one of my favorite art mediums to work in. And the very first thing I do is just establish where all my darks and all my lights are going to be. Now, these are never drawings that are overly detailed. I don't get into drawing every little hair on the horse. I just put in basic blocks of color so that I can make a visual impact without trying to make it look like a picture. And I'm just going through section by section. I put down the graphite and then I go over and I get it nice and wet with my pencil. With my watercolor pen. Now that is a Pentel watercolor pen. It is the best. I think it works much better than the Derwent watercolor pens, but that's just my own personal opinion. It releases the perfect amount of water for wetting down this graphite. The next step is to very slowly darken everything and get things darker and darker and going over it again and again until I have the darkness at a place that I'm happy with and that the shadows are dark enough. I do have an entire set of graphite aquarelle pencils from Faber-Castell. I think it's everything from an HB all the way to an 8B. Now, the 8B is very, very, very dark. It's almost a black color once you get it wet, which is nice, but it also means I don't really use it as much because I can usually get dark enough with a 6B and still be happy with where I'm at. The mane and tail are always a lot of fun to put into these horses that are jumping and frolicking about because their hair is just going every which way. It's just fun. Every time I use graphite aquarelle, I do go and I outline the entire horse with my 8B pencil. And I outline everything, including any spots, or in this case, all the paint splotches he has all over him, so that everything stands out just a bit better, and it's really just my style type of thing. On to the goldfish. This sketchbook is not watercolor paper, so even though I am using my watercolors in it, I do have to be very careful to not be very wet, to not use much water, and to also not scrub very much. And really, I'm just gently dabbing my color down and then letting it dry. You can definitely use watercolor on paper that is not necessarily designed for it, but you do have to be very careful in the amount of water you use and be very careful not to scrub and use a very, very gentle touch. If you guys like my content, please do like and subscribe. It really helps my channel and it lets YouTube know that people are interested in what I'm making, so hopefully it'll show my videos to more and more people. I'm just getting the rest of the little goldfish in one at a time. I think I'm using a gold color there. I'm not sure. This piece just needed a pop of color, so I went ahead and added goldfish. One trick to being able to make things that are surreal is to just take a look at what some of your favorite things are and then put them together. And it's even better if they're things that you wouldn't normally find together. They need to be very different type of elements. In this case, it's a horse and a bunch of goldfish, but it can be a monkey and a cup of tea, a monkey drinking a cup of tea. When it comes to surrealism, it's all about your imagination and how far you're willing to push it. One thing I did do is I went back in, I didn't film it, but I went back in and I added a bunch of bubbles and some stars to bring unity to this.